What's going on, guys? It's me, Big Mitch again. Alright, it's the next weekend after our last race meeting. We've got a bit of work to do on this kart. We had a bit of trouble starting it for the races, and I'm not exactly sure if it was the battery or the Bendix or what. We're going to do a bit of testing. I've got something here that I hopefully will help us out a little bit, and I'll show you that in a second. But as you can see here, I've got the kart. Now my battery usually sits in here, just down that battery cradle there. So I do that just to try and even out the weight because I'm so heavy. Usually it'll sit over this side, but it just means it just shifts a bit of weight forward on the kart. I could put a cradle back here if I wanted to. I don't do that just to balance out the kart and the weight. So I'll be cleaning up the engine today, cleaning that up, trying to figure out what's wrong with the battery. And I'll be taking all this off, having a look at the Bendix, making sure that's all right, and going from there. What I did buy though is a new battery charger. Okay, previously I was running an old cheap PowerTech one you just plug straight into the wall. Didn't have a actual battery charger, so I went down and I got a Projector Pro Charge, and it's a 4 amp charger. But what's brilliant about this is it can charge your normal car batteries, but also lithium batteries as well. So I used to run a battery that came with it, a lead acid battery. Now this thing weighs about just under 3 kilos. So it's quite heavy, whereas you go to somewhere like this PowerSport, SSB PowerSport lithium battery, you're looking at somewhere around the 500 to 600 gram mark. So a heap of difference in weight. And for me, that's wonderful because when I race, I come across the scales at 212 kilos. I only need to be 202 for my class. So any extra weight I can shed is really beneficial. So running this lithium PowerSport battery makes life much easier for me. Now, I was running this on the weekend and I'm not exactly sure if the battery is dead or dying or why it wouldn't tick over, but that's what we're going to try and figure out today. So knowing that this Projector Pro Charge battery charger charges the lithium batteries is going to make life extra easy. It also, one of the reasons I got it is it comes with one of these, so I can connect it straight up. So when I rewire the trailer, and I'll show you that later on today, that's another project we've got going on, I can just hook these straight up, and then when I want to recharge the battery that's in the trailer for the 12 volt system, I just hook this charger up right here, and away we go. So I don't have to take the whole battery out, disconnect it, charge it, put it back in, connect everything back up. I can literally just connect the charger straight up to it, plug it in, and away we go. So we'll give this a go, see if it works. If not, we'll try and figure out what else is going on. But I'm hoping that this Projector Pro Charge will be the solution to our problems. So sit tight and we'll go from there. All right, guys, now working on the engine, if we look over here, we've got the battery charging. It's just doing a soft start at the moment. Now, on this with the lithium battery, you keep it on normal mode. There's 3 different modes you can go for. Just normal is fine for the lithium. If you do it on the other ones, it won't work. So while that's charging, you can see the little blue light there flashing. While that's charging, we'll skip over here and we'll work on getting this tidied up. Okay, so what generally happens is that after race meet, you got dirt and gunk and rubbish that gets in there. So we'll give this a tidy up, make sure it's all nice. You can see there that the seat stay is nice and silvery and now black. So I'll give that a tidy up, but we'll pull this the chain guard off and the clutch guard off and give the chain a clean, give this all a bit of a once over, maybe try and clean out the Bendix and make sure it's all sweet to go. So next time we go out, we won't have too many issues with this getting the kart started and getting running. So generally after race meet, I'll do this, give it a good clean, tidy it up, make sure it's all set to go. So when we get out there next time, no issues, we can get going. Obviously things do happen, but that's just racing. So sit tight. I'll do a bit of a shot of me getting this thing organised and cleaned up, and yeah, we'll come back to it when we're done. Alright guys, so giving the kart a clean the engine, clean the chain, give it a bit of a spruce up. I've charged the battery and we'll see how we go. Hopefully this fixes it, hopefully a new charger fixed it, but we'll find out very shortly, so fingers crossed. Looks like it's a no-go. We'll have to take it in. It might be the Bendix gear, I think. I think that might be the one thing that's playing up. Give it one more go. I reckon that's it. So I'll park it up for today. We'll wrap the tyres up so we get a few practice days out of that, and park the tyre and park it up and start working on the trailer. See how we go. Alright, now that we've figured out that it wasn't the battery, we'll move on to the trailer. So this trailer has been one of the dreams I've been having since I started karting, because previously I would put everything in a box trailer, my father-in-law's box trailer, load everything up, take it out to the track, unload it, race, load it back up, bring it back home, unload it, and then take the trailer home. And it was just becoming too chaotic, tiring, and by the time you even start racing, you've already done way too much work. So I got a super good deal on it, and it's going to become a bit of a project for me and for us for this channel. There's a heap of things I want to do to it. First and foremost, I want to take that license plate and center it, and the reason for that is that the two lights we've got here, this one here and this one here, don't actually work. So I've got another light for it. We're going to move it in the center. I know there's holes in it already. I'm not too fussed because eventually I am planning on getting it wrapped. So something special I've got planned there. But some other things I've got planned, like these guards here, these look like they've just been painted on. So I'm going to strip these back. If you can see there's just a lot of paint that's coming off. I'm actually thinking of plasti dipping them. So if I ever want to change the colour, I just peel it off and just put new plasti dip on and get that taken care of. Same as the other side. It's peeling, getting a bit worse for wear. So fix these up. Inside, I'll show you what I've done. I've already had to change the jockey wheel on it. Rewire the connection to the car. This storage case there, I've had to reattach that to the chassis because it was only pop riveted on. So I've actually put some riv nuts in there and bolted it to the chassis so it's not going anywhere. I've put some tie down points in there for the kart. And if you look up here, that's where the battery for the 12 volt system and the switches live. That is going to be completely rewired. Just looks like a whole bunch of spaghetti up there at the moment, and I really want to make that neater. So all in all, I'll open up the back for you. It's actually a pretty well set up trailer that we've got. Alright, so it's a 2-cart trailer. Storage underneath. It does have storage for a pop-up tent on the right hand side over here, and on the left it's got a tyre rack. Plus we've got storage underneath here. Now if you look down here, there's a whole bunch of wasted space down there. What I'm planning on doing down there is putting in a compressed air system, 12 volt compressed air onboard air system. So once I get all that right up and running, new switches put in, it'll be pretty schmick. So planning on having 2 outlets coming here. I've got an outlet here for a 12 volt like cigarette lighter thing. I'm going to get rid of that, and I'll put 2 outlets for compressed air. And then on the other side, down the front, I'm also going to do the same thing. So I've got a sheet of Galvabond I'm going to make up, put a new switch panel in, put some ports there, so if I'm working out of the back or out of the side, I'm all set to go. So that's the plan. But yeah, in terms of the wiring of what we got going on here, if you look up here, it's all It's all over the place. So I'm gonna just rewire it, all the interior along here. Rewire all that, take the battery out, take the lights off. We've got some new lights coming on, which I'm really keen about those. There's some steady LED strips. So once they come in, I'll show you and put those in and get this thing looking schmicko again, because it has a lot of potential to be an amazing trailer. So let's start changing some stuff up in here. I'm going to take the battery out first, and then I'm going to rewire the rear lights and for the license plate and remove the license plate. So we'll get to it.